What's up everyone? For the longest time, I've been using the XTR M9000 pedals. That is the XTR 11 speed generation of pedals. Fast forward to when Shimano launched their 12 speed, so M9100, and of course they had new XTR pedals. I did review these and the trail ones on my channel, but I ended up not using them myself because of one problem with the pedal seals that made them unreliable. Well, fast forward to the launch of their Di2 drivetrains, and now we have the M9200 pedals. In this video, I'm just gonna take a look at them and see if they solve that major flaw in the design, or I'm gonna have to stick with my M9000 pedals for the foreseeable future. And first off, you might not even recognize these on the shelf. They changed the shape of the box from the wide and long to this narrow and tall. This is all recycled material. Unfortunately, they kind of made it look cheap in comparison with the old ones, even the XT pedals. The new pedal code is M9200, old one was 9100, and interestingly, the fact that they have a narrower Q factor pedal is shown here right next to the weight of these pedals. 316 is for the standard. That was not mentioned here whatsoever. You're looking at two options for the cleats. These can adjust the tension and they are double-sided. Pretty much everything that we had in the past, cross-country and cyclocross. And good news is that just like in the past, they are made in Japan. Interestingly, the new pedals, just like the old, don't mention the new cleats that I reviewed on the channel. I assume is because these were launched at the same time or slightly later. And inside the box, you're gonna see a user manual. Here's one, and here's the second one with the warning on it. And here at the bottom, cleats. These are the single release SH51s. The wording label on the pedal only talks about using the 51 and 56 cleats from Shimano. Again, no mention about the new MT1. But if you're wondering what's the deal with this new cleats, I have a video I posted recently. I'll make sure I link it up in the corner. Back to the pedals, where you're gonna see how easy it is to identify these from the previous models. Gone is that sculpted end of the pedal. This is flat. Shimano will continue to say that the pedals shed mud very well, that they have a slim spindle, even though you can see the older model has a slimmer axle here, and they all use a chromoly spindle. That's pretty much what we have here. You're gonna need that 8mm hex to tighten them up. Details of the pedals are here on the spindle, including the left or right, but you do know that the left one that is reverse threaded has those notches on the thread, or you just look at the pedal and make sure that the adjustment is towards the heel of your shoe. Just like in the past, you use a 2.5mm to adjust these. The rest of the Shimano pedals use 3mm, not a 2.5. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. And you have this by default adjusted to number 7. So 7 out of 23. These are the standard XTR Race, so 55mm spindle. And the weight of a pedal is 160. Obviously 2 is 320. This is supposed to be 316. And just for comparison, these older M9000s are a few grams lighter. Finally, low platform height is something that Shimano always mentions. 16.5mm, identical with the 9100s. And this one is 15.5. So 1mm here means half a millimeter stack height difference. And I mentioned in the intro that I use these old XTR pedals a lot. And yeah, I'm pretty bad. Zero maintenance all these years. What's the deal with that seal on the 9200 pedals? Is this as bad as it was on the 9100s? And if we look here at the explorer view of these pedals, I don't see any major design change. So call me a sucker because I already bought these, so we might still have that same issue with the seal. However, there is some sort of a fix. I bought a whole bunch of silicone O-rings from Amazon, and if you just put one of these right here on the axle, the taper of the axle is gonna keep that right next to the seal that's inside, preventing it from coming out. On the previous generation pedals, the trail version of these, so 9220s, they had the same issue with the seal. Again, it's something that probably Shimano fixed. I don't see them perpetrating that same mistake again and again. They're pretty good at quality control, especially when it comes to their premium components like the XTRs. What is your folks' preference when it comes to the Shimano pedals? Do you go for XTR or some of the cheaper ones? By the way, XT were cheaper. They don't have any issues with seals, where they didn't in the past. What do you think about these new pedals? Nothing earth-shattering different here, but I expect these to be well designed and last quite a bit if my experience with the M9000 tells us anything. And like everything these days, these are a bit more expensive, about 40 bucks more than the 9100s. If you find those in clearance, would you go for 9100s with my little hack, or the 9200s, the new pedals? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys found this useful, and if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, hope to see you folks on the trails. Cheers, guys. Cheers.